So what is the actual value of soil organic matter? It does have a value. And let's take a look at some very specific data that quantifies that for us. Okay? First of all, let's look at our national annual soil loss in the U.S., and this is NRCS data. And from 82 to 97, you can see that we've started to turn the corner here, and we decreased our annual topsoil loss from 8.1 all the way down to 5.6 billion tons per acre, or that's tons per acre, excuse me, 5.64 tons per acre, okay? But where are we today, okay? Now, worldwide, we're losing about 75 billion tons of soil on an annual basis, but today we've inched back up in our loss here in the U.S., and we're losing about 6.9 billion tons total, okay? As a result, this causes farmers to have to spend about $20 billion a year to make up for the loss of nutrients that are carried away by erosion. So again, healthy soil overall performs 5 vital functions that we need. It regulates water, it sustains plant and animal life, it filters pollutants, cycles nutrients, and supports structure, our plants. Water retention is one of the greatest benefits that we get when we build soil organic matter, okay? Soil organic matter is a very crucial storehouse for moisture. As organic matter increases from 1 to 3%, water holding capacity in that soil literally doubles, okay? And that's regardless of the type of soil or the soil texture. For every 1% increase in soil organic matter, water holding capacity increases an average of 3.2 times. Now, what about the role of microbes in doing this then? What function do they play in helping retain moisture in the soil? Well, one of the things that they do is they produce glomalin, okay, which is described as a soil glue. And basically, arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi are one of the major contributors to the production of this soil glue, okay? Now, what this soil glue does is it creates soil aggregates. And as we aggregate soil particles, then we create, by the very nature of it, many, many more microchannels, okay, or pores that allow that water to penetrate into the ground. The soil glue reduces ponding and runoff. Some of the slides that Bob showed earlier this morning very clearly indicated that. Without these underground highways or microchannels that are created by glomalin and the resultant soil aggregation, crops will require more fertilizer for the same yield, okay? The soil glue and the soil aggregation slows down the rate of water entering the aggregate, okay? It becomes a soil carbon vault, and this is where many of our slow-acting microbes actually reside or live. Additional roles, for instance, our fungal hyphae create fine roots, okay? Now, how does this help us in water retention? Well, those fine roots are more efficient at grabbing and retaining nutrients, okay? They require less carbon as fuel. So you can think of it as better miles per gallon, okay? They unlock chemical bonds to release vital nutrients, and they actually take up phosphorus 6 times faster than the root hairs, okay? And they connect roots from different plants so that they can transfer nutrients more efficiently. What about the ability to control water runoff through building soil organic matter? Well, we know that if we have 2% soil organic matter, 1 acre of soil will hold approximately 32,000 gallons of water, or 21% of a 10-year storm, okay? 5% organic matter will hold 80,000 gallons of water, or 53% of a 10-year storm. 8% organic matter will hold 85% of a 10-year storm. So an enormous difference. As we build soil organic matter, we effectively reduce the impact of drought. We can't control when drought comes, when drought happens, but we can certainly play a role in controlling the severity of that drought. Okay, this is just a chart again showing this in tabular form, saying the same thing. This table illustrates that it doesn't matter the type of soil, whether it's sand, silt loam, silty clay loam, whatever it may be. As we increase soil organic matter, we incrementally increase water holding capacity. Okay, this is just a visual example that the NRCS sets up at a lot of their field days and so forth, and it very clearly shows that as you have higher soil organic matter and more plant material on the soil surface, you have significantly lower water and topsoil loss. This first panel here represents conventionally tilled and compacted farm ground, and all of this received a simulated 1-inch rainfall. Okay, with the first panel, you note that with 1-inch rainfall, you had a high degree of runoff, but also look at the color. You had a lot of topsoil run off with that water. The second panel represents basically a cover crop, okay, that's been planted, and you'll see that we had significantly less runoff and the color is much clearer. This is a no-till situation, but we still had a lot of runoff and soil loss. This is a very closely grazed crop situation. Same thing here, but in a better managed grazing situation where we leave more plant residue on the soil surface as we move our livestock to different paddocks. You can see that we had very little water runoff and almost no topsoil loss. Okay, very, very clear runoff there. Okay, so the benefit of building soil organic matter and retaining this water is actually greater than our national debt, even though that's climbing every day. But we typically have 10 to 50,000 microbe species, okay, in a single gram of soil. Their nutrient cycling services are worth up to $20 trillion annually, okay? And they are the world's most valuable ecosystem. We can call these our soil livestock, okay? Our soil livestock. And they are more numerous and diverse than what we would find in terms of species in a tropical rainforest. Now, the value of soil organic matter, untilled soil has a minimum of $2,600 per acre worth of free crop nutrients in the top 6 inches, okay? And the soil carbon is what feeds the microbes to fuel them, okay, so that they can improve your crop. Now, let's take a look at data that was published in the Journal of Soil and Water Conservation. And this is a study where they looked at the value of incrementally improving soil organic matter 1% at a time. And if we look at these key nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, and carbon, you find the amount of those nutrients in pounds that exist per 1% soil organic matter in your soil and their value in units. So if we look at 1% organic matter, those nutrients are worth $751 per acre. If we increase that soil organic matter to 5%, we now have $3,700 worth of nutrients per acre that are out there in our soil. A New Zealand study compared soil organic matter in pasture production for operating dairies. And their comparisons were made between low and high organic matter pastures. And they looked at dry matter yields in forage production and actual financial value of the milk solids from the dairy cows. Now, what they found